Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and welcome back to another PokeMMO stream recap. I believe it's a stream recap 285, your daily source of PokeMMO and mild entertainment in the background on your second monitor. Don't worry, I'm aware. News, information, updates, what's happening in the game, how is the community feeling, what's Patrouski doing, and I am going to be shiny hunting, fellas, but not just any sort of shiny hunting, okay? I am starting March Mysterious Ball Madness. Okay, so for every single Twitch sub, whether it's gifted, whether it's a prime, whether it's, you know, just a normal Twitch sub, I will be opening one mysterious ball. I don't recommend other players opening mysterious balls. It is literally just gambling for a shiny, but I like to use it to shake things up, have some fun. When I get this dry on a shiny hunt, currently at 61,000, almost 62k encounters. I'll get that here in a quick sec. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start getting encounters, working towards Sand Slash, but I will be opening one mysterious ball of my choosing, most likely Pokeballs or Great Balls, for just a chance at a shiny Pokemon. One opened per sub, and we already did have a sub today. Cardsy resubscribed for 16 months, so you know what? Let's go ahead and just get started, man. This hurts because I have such a clean number here on the 800, and I probably should pop a shiny charm if I'm going to do this. But I'm just going to start off with a Great Ball. Vanillite, no shiny. That is ball number 1 of March Mysterious Ball Madness. A little bit of a mouthful. Very importantly, it is until I break the streak, okay? So I will open one Mysterious Ball per Twitch sub until I break my dry streak. If the dry streak is broken, March Madness ends early, okay? So we'll have to see. Okay, what I'm gonna start doing, we just got another Twitch resub, okay? I'm gonna have a numbers. It's way over on this side of the screen, way over there, way over here. Yep. See the 1 above chat? I'm gonna start tracking how many mysterious balls I owe you guys, okay? And then the strat will be to just stock up on how many I need to open, and then all at once I can pop a shiny charm and open them, and that'll give me a much better chance of getting a shiny. It'll be much more exciting to open a bunch all at once as opposed to once every hour or something like that. Okay, and there is 5 more gifted. The March Mysterious Ball Madness is in full swing. We're 20 minutes into the stream, and we have 8 mysterious balls that we need to pop. Thank you to everyone in chat. Gamer, that's insane. Thank you, the Mysterious Ball Master himself. This is a great question. Hi, Pat/chat. I was wondering if I should make a full alternate account to play on as an alt account or make a new character. Is there any difference besides the account PC box? The PC box is the big one. That's a great question. The account box is the main point. However, if you ever want to play 2 characters at the same time on 2 different devices, like have like a desktop here and like laptop here, you're gonna need a separate account, right? So if you want to be able to, if you just want to do gym reruns, not at the same time, or just berry farm, or like have your alt account for events or whatever, then having it on the same account and using the account box is really nice. However, if you want to like grind Dittos while you shiny hunt on your main, like play both at once, you're gonna want a different account / login. So it's a great question. Alt accounts are really powerful in PokeMMO, and deciding whether you should make an entirely new account / login to create that character on, or just make a new character on your main login is a really good question, and it just depends on what you're looking for. I think like literally last stream recap, or it was a very recent stream recap, I talked about how Psychopath got a shiny Beldum live, which was amazing. He has breaded up, and it's fucking beautiful, dude. Look at this. Adamant Nature, double shiny Beldums are really expensive to breed as well. He also got Secret on it, which I can't even imagine how. Okay, for reference, to get Secret shiny on a Beldum like that, right? You'd have to either get a Secret shiny Beldum, Matang, which there are none of on the a Metagross, which is 370 mil at the cheapest, or a Ditto. A Ditto is probably your cheapest option, which the cheapest Secret shiny Ditto, yeah, by far, is still 33 mil. So he paid 33 mil or so minimum just to put Secret shiny on it, and then bred up the IVs like he did. Those stats that is an insane shiny Beldum. That's a lot of love he put into it after finally getting the 6 shiny. That's really cool to see. I honestly always say that I kind of am guilty of just catching my shinies and putting them in my boxes to rot forever. I'm really bad about putting extra love and attention into my shinies. It's something I kind of want to work on, but it requires a lot of Pokeyen. And I usually just end up reinvesting my Pokeyen into investments or into more shiny hunts versus into the shinies that I currently have. So maybe one day I'll work on that a little bit more, but it's not on my priority list. It's not very high up at the moment. Hey Pat, I'm finishing all the regions and I have a quick question. Do you think it's a good time to complete the Pokedex, or should I dedicate to something else? I think, yeah, absolutely. During off season, the perfect time, right? Like off season like this, okay, like outside of event season, is the perfect time to do things like preparing raid Pokemon, preparing PvP Pokemon, play PvP, learn PvP, go on a PvP binge, you know, complete your Pokedex, like do all these achievements that a lot of people have put off for months and months and months to play the events, to be efficient, right, and play the limited time thing and not have that FOMO. Now we can finally, the joke is now we can finally play the game. Like now that event season is finally over, like, oh shit, we can finally play the game. Which reminds me, I knew I had something else to talk about today at the beginning of the stream, but I forgot. Aside from the mysterious March Ball Madness, there is a shiny rating coming up, fellas. I will be hosting a shiny rating this Thursday, okay? I have a scheduled stream for it. I believe it's Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. I think I'll be hosting it over at the Elite Four in Johto. So where I'm at right now, essentially in game, that will allow me to like shiny rate and shiny hunt if I want to, if I have time for it. But I will be doing a shiny rating coming up with the next 3 days or so, I guess. You know, it's March 6th is where it's at. So a shiny rating, for those who don't know, is when I will open my DMs and people will whisper me their shinies, and I will rate your shinies on a scale of 0 to 10. Okay, it's a very harsh scale. I think the average score is like a 2 or a 3, and like historical shinies get like a 10. Like one of the shiny that I go to that reminds me of a 10 is my buddy Dusty, who whispered me the first ever shiny melodic in the game. It was like guaranteed. It was like a 2012 shiny Phoebus / melodic, and it was the first one in the game. And that Pokemon was only available via like a winter event back then. You could only hunt it for like a temporary period of time. It was like a super rare, super old, like insane. The fact that it exists is crazy. That is a 10 out of 10 shiny to me. I love price history questions, because if you're a newer player, you just won't know, and there's not really a way to know, especially for like Pokemon prices. For item prices, you can use things like PokeMMO Hub. That only goes back so many years. And I think price history is so important to understanding a market, right? How much were Dittos before 5,000 Pokeyen? Is it really that expensive? Dittos were 3,000 Pokeyen for a very long period of time. The average cost of a Ditto box from like 2020 all the way to like 2023, I want to say, maybe 2022-ish. So for like 2 or 3 years, the average price of a Ditto was 3K. A Ditto box was 180K, right? But then it slowly went up as like Ditto catching, as more players reached I think a big thing was more players reaching the end game and more players discovering rare hunting and egg hunting. Egg hunting just wasn't done that much. It was very, very niche. And there wasn't very many players who egg hunted back in 2020 to 2023, 2022, right? So as more players got better at the game, a lot of players started egg hunting more. So the demand of Dittos really rose. There's a lot of things, obviously, like the netball buff combined with the netball nerf, combined with different strategies, combined with, like, there's been a million things, right, that have changed regarding Dittos. But they went from around 180K a box to 200K a box to 220K a box was the average for a few years, to now they kind of shockingly shot up. Like they were 220K a box for a long time, and they're like 220 to 240. They kind of went from like 220 to 240 all the way to like 300K a box now. Like the jump from that to that was really insane, and just due to, like, I think people just getting better at the game and wanting to egg hunt more, as well as less Ditto hunters now, because Ditto hunting just it's not bad money per hour by any means. I want to say it's around like 200K an hour, something like that. Like Ditto hunting is still really good, right? But it's not as good as it used to be. It kind of got worse Pokeyen per hour over the years. So less players are doing it and more players are rare hunting, and it creates that supply and demand, you know, obviously a very basic effect. But yeah, Dittos have gotten a lot more expensive. You know, that's like from 3K to 5K is like what, almost a 50% increase. It's like 40% or so price increase. It's pretty massive, which you take the cost of a rare shunt from around 100 million Pokeyen to like 150 million now is like the cost. Yeah, I hate that 31 IV Dittos are becoming shittos. Yeah, we're talking about Ditto farming and Ditto boxes and the price history. We mentioned that, but yes, the number one problem with Ditto hunting right now, the money you get from shittos are great. The number one problem is that a shitto costs 5,200 Pokeyen, and then a 31 attack IV Ditto, like, man, that's sad to me. This is the biggest problem with Ditto farming, is that 31 or any 31 IV Dittos are just not that valuable right now, which is really, really sad to me. And this sucks, man. This is a problem. And it's a problem where we have to ask ourselves, like, how do we solve? And I've been advocating for, I think the Pokemon market right now is not bad. The Pokemon market has a lot of positives, probably way more positives than negatives in my opinion. However, one of the big negatives is 1 to 2 times 31 Pokemon having very, very low value. And you ask yourself, why is that the case? I would argue personally, to my personal opinion, alpha Pokemon. I think alpha Pokemon are bringing in too many wild 1 times 31s and 2 times 31 Pokemon, right? And it's affecting the market for everything. So the math you can do is that most 2 times 31 Pokemon should never cost less than, we can get rid of the Ditto. Let's just do the simple math in our head before we look at this. These numbers are insane, but the female only species are different. We'll hide that, but a 2 times 31 Pokemon should never cost less than probably about 30k, right? The reason being is because if you pay 5k for a 1 times 31 Pokemon and then 5k for another, and then the 2 braces, right? The 2 braces, breeding braces, and the breeding system in PokeMMO is what keeps the game's market healthy. So it keeps everything in line. It gives all 31 IVs value, right? So every 31 IV or 2 times 31, usually you're paying 10k for the 2 breeders, and at the cheapest, right? And then 10k for each brace, so it should cost about 30k, right? When wild, like this is, let's go like a different egg group. What happens is when wild 2 times 31 Pokemon are being brought into the game at such a fast pace, right? When the supply is so severe, you just don't need to breed as much, right? So breeding becomes much better for profit in certain, if you're doing higher IVs, but not 2 times 31. Breeding for profit right now for 1 times 31, for 2 times 31 is not that great unless you roll nature. But the fact that all of these, this is the equivalent, if you're familiar with RuneScape, this is the equivalent of something reaching high alchemy price, right? And you want to avoid that to some extent, if possible, right? But Pokemon are literally reaching the lowest price they can reach because of alphas. And also, just by looking, you can see, let me actually get rid of, I have alpha clicked yes on, sorry, excuse me. If we don't look for alphas, 31k, like this is as cheap, the cheapest something should be right now is 30k. And we have certain ones that get even cheaper. This is, I would argue, underlisted, to be fair. But it's really scary to me. Like, this is really sad to me. This is a sign of a not healthy Pokemon market. And I've been a big advocate of nerfing alphas for a long time because it would help raise the value of these good IV Pokemon, which helps helps new players, it helps veteran players, it helps intermediate players, it helps everybody. Whenever I kind of talk about, I've noticed that players just don't like to hear the words nerf things. That's something I've noticed. A lot of players don't like the term nerf things, and it makes me sad because I think a lot of players just assume nerf equals bad. In this situation, nerf is not bad, or nerf should never be bad. Nerf should be helping the game in the long run, and then helping the players in the long run. When you nerf alphas, it will, let's say you decrease the either guaranteed 31 IV an alpha gives you, or you just lower it to 1 alpha spawn a day as opposed to 3 in an IRL day, right? What's going to happen is it's going to trade off. You're going to get less alpha catches. Yeah, nerf equals balance. You get less alpha, but you'll make more Pokeyen per alpha, right? So nerfing alphas will help new players more than anything. And this is something I've talked about ad nauseum in the past, but the best new player money making method back in the day, like being 2 to 3 years ago, not that long ago, 2 years ago or so, was catching Pokemon. And I was a big advocate of doing my loop from 1 hour of all these series, etc., 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 right? Catching Pokemon for profit is really, really cool because any new player can do it. It's the traditional Pokemon loop of gotta catch them all, catch Pokemon equals gain Pokeyen. catching Pokemon for profit was the core fundamental Pokeyen maker in Pokemon for a very, very long time. Now it is much harder to catch Pokemon for profit. Slash arguably like not worth. I don't recommend it for new players all the times. This is like very, very specific Pokemon. Used to be able to catch like Pedovs on Route 1 and make 200k an hour because it was just, you could sell it as males to the Flying Aid group and make really good Pokeyen. New players have a harder time than ever, which I'm a big positive force for Pokemon. Like this game is in a really good spot, a better spot than ever. It's growing more than ever. It's popular. The economy is very good for a lot of investors, very good for a lot of veterans, intermediate players, endgame players. You can make better pure Pokeyen than ever with trainer runs and gym runs, etc. But for new players, it's really hard. Flipping is better than ever. It's really hard for new players right now to make pure Pokeyen via catching Pokemon for profit. Now, don't let that victimize you. You can still do things. You can still go do trainery runs. You can do a ton of things as a new player. Don't hear this and say, oh man, as a new player, that means I'm stuck and I can't do anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. You just have to adjust and switch up strategies, right? But it does make me a little sad that new players can't catch Pokemon for profit when it used to be so good, right? Catching Pokemon for profit is so fun. It's very inherent to Pokemon. And it makes me sad that we kind of lost that as a money-making method due to alphas coming to the game, which alphas are crucial. They bring in hidden ability access Pokemon to the game, but they also bring in way too many good IV Pokemon at way too quick of a rate. And it breaks the market, in my personal opinion. This is all my personal opinion, but I think alphas have to get nerfed. Something I've called for a while. I think alphas really, really need to get nerfed at some point. Yeah, I suggest now that new players start in Unova and Sinnoh and have access to... Yes, it is more important than ever to make pure Pokeyen and Pokemon as a new player, which kind of sucks. Now, training Pokemon is really good. I actually like covered it recently, and I have more videos coming out on this. XP training, EV training, grinding, leveling, like training Pokemon as a new player is fantastic right now, which I really, really encourage players to do. But I super like pure BN methods like trainer runs and Jimmy runs are more important than ever as a new player, and just getting to that is so super important. You used to like kind of be able to like dilly dally and hang out in the beginning, like the early game of PokeMMO, you could like kind of dilly dally. Now I recommend more than ever, like just get to the intermediate stage as quick as possible, which usually consists of beating all 5 storylines and getting a Jimmy run team / trainer run team, which that's like a few hundred hours, man. So I understand like it's tough to get there, you know. Pat, do you think it's worth investing in Mystic Mirrors? This is a great question. So I always say whenever whether it's worth to invest, I'm not giving you financial advice. I can give you my thoughts and feelings and opinions on an item, but you have to make your own financial decisions at your own risks, okay? But I do like talking about the Mystic Mirror market because it's super interesting. I would argue it might be too late to invest into the Mystic Mirror market. If you invested at the end of you might just have enough time. There's kind of you could buy these up to like 400k maybe and still make a decent profit and have them go up within the next few months. Mystic Mirrors, for those who don't know, is the only item in the game that allows you to change your base appearance, gender, and skin tone, right? As it says here, right? And it's a consumable item, and they only come into the game via limited events, such as the Lunar New Year event, which just happened, right? So they come in during the event, their prices tank, and then as the year goes on and people want to change their characters and they realize that, they kind of slowly buy them and they slowly get consumed, and they don't really get brought back into the game until the next year's event, right? So I think Mystic Mirrors can be a really good investment every year, but every year it'll get less good, if that makes sense. Yeah, that was a sub as well, so we're at 20 mysterious balls to open already, which is insane. Thank you guys for your generosity. That's crazy. But I think Mystic Mirrors are one of those items to watch every single event season, and if they tank down, it's really important. I feel like this is a very niche audience. Well, think about it, right? It's definitely somewhat niche, but a lot of players want to adjust their characters' looks. Think about it. Imagine you really enjoy a game, but you hate the way your character looks. There's some, like, you like chose the wrong base hair cut or something like that. Like, every day you log in, you're going to see that, and you're going to be a little annoyed, right? You're going to be a little annoyed every day until one day you finally build up the courage to just fuck it, spend the Pokeyen, no matter how much it costs to fix it, right? That would bother the crap out of me if I played a game that I loved and I hated the way my character looked. That would bother me, right? And look at the math, right? There's 4 here, 4, 6, 12, 15, 16, plus 8. What is that? 24, 25, 26, 32. let's guesstimate and say there's about let's high roll. Let's say there's 80. Let's say there's 80 Mystic Mirrors on the GTL right now, right? How many players does PokeMMO have? Maybe 100K, maybe a few 100K, maybe, let's say concurrent, like anywhere from like 10 to 50,000. We don't know. It's a big guesstimation, right? So like, let's say 10 to 50,000 is the like usually players online at a time would be my guess. The big range, but that's my guess, right? If you only need 80 players, let's say it's 10,000. Let's hyper lowball and say PokeMMO has 10,000 players total. 10,000 players that play the game like every week or something like that, right? That's it. That's not how it, but let's just lowball for the sake of the argument. You only need 80 of those people out of 10,000 to want to change their character's appearance. When you start thinking in things like mass numbers and like the overall, like you have to, when you want to make investments, you have to zoom out. You can't think through like your own personal perspective. You got to zoom out and imagine the game as a whole. It doesn't take that many players to want the Mystic Mirror for it to be totally sold out, which is a really big deal. Yeah, this is, ooh, talk about a beautiful and rare shiny. This is insane. Dude, shiny Excadrill is already like so rare and so pretty, but the yellow glow around this honestly just adds an extra third color, which really transcends it and adds so much beauty to it. This is really fucking sick. That is fresh. Yes. This is today. Oh, this is like an hour ago. Dude, congratulations to you, man. Blubbered. Love your name. Congratulations, dude. That is a once in a lifetime kind of shiny, dude. That's so sick. Congratulations. Accidental Shalpha. Yeah, it looked like he was breeding it up to like be a raid or look at this. Yeah, the stats. Like that is an accidental. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you can go 400k dry. Sometimes you could accidentally breed a Shalpha competitive Excadrill. RNG is RNG. That's so sick, man. That's so beautiful. Right, someone said there is a secret Shalpha Ditto on the GTL. No fucking way. Do you have any idea how rare this is? Holy crap. 900 mil is the asking price. And that's like probably fair. That's probably fairly priced. So the odds of this, right? A Shalpha Ditto is already one of the rarest Shalphas, if not probably the rarest Shalpha, right? I guess aside from like Shalpha Sweet Tune, if that's not, whatever. But like Shalpha Ditto is so rare because you cannot breed for it, right? The way people Shalpha hunt most shiny alphas is by breeding them over and over and over again, which is absorbently expensive and usually costs around 1 to 2 billion Pokeyen per Shalpha, right? A Shalpha Ditto, the only way to encounter it is by wildly encountering, randomly doing the wild Alpha Ditto spawn, and it just hit it. You hit that 1 out of 30,000 roll, and it comes out shiny. There's no other way. So like, man, how many Alpha Ditto spawns do we think happen per year, chat? Like per maybe 10 to 30. Let's say like I'm gonna remember this 21 number. Let's say there's like let's high end guesstimate. Let's say there's 30 per year. I think that's pretty fair. Let's say around there's like 30 Alpha Ditto spawns per year, right? So 30,000 divided by 30. If you were to try to go for a Shalpha Ditto, is that right? Would it be 1,000 years? Like this is the level of like if you were to try to hunt a Shalpha Ditto, it would be 1,000 years on average to get a Shalpha Ditto. And then if you want to go for a secret shiny Shalpha Ditto, we multiply that by 16. This is a shiny that would take around 16,000 years on average for one person to purposefully hunt for it, if my math is correct. That's how fucking insane this is, right? Like, to put it into numbers, this is a 16,000 year shiny. Now, when you have hundreds of thousands of people on one server and you're asking, like, oh, what are the odds of one person getting it? Still really, really high, but it becomes more viable versus 16,000 years. But for like a single person to go for it is just insane, right? I currently have 160,000 Pokeyen, but over 6 mil worth of cosmetics, flaming motorcycle, flame glasses, flame suit, halo, angel wings, etc. Would you recommend I sell the cosmetics to use on buying / selling on the GTL, or should I just do another? I would just personally just do another money making method. If you're at 160k Pokeyen but you have cosmetics, I would just keep the cosmetics. If you want to sell them, you can, but all those cosmetics you named aren't really investment cosmetics. They're all just like ones you probably bought because you liked them or enjoyed them, right? They're all like RP cosmetics, right? I would just go do Jimmy runs, go do trainer runs, and rebuild your net worth via that, right? If you had 160k Pokeyen, just hopefully you have a Jimmy run team. Now, if you don't have a Jimmy run team or a trainer rerun cloister built, it might be worth to sell one of them to build those moneymakers, and then maybe rebuy the vanity later on if you want to, right? But I don't recommend like selling off your, things that you bought. That feels like a pretty drastic level versus just making more Pokeyen, right? You can do a Jimmy run, make 300k Pokeyen or more in 1 hour, right? Do a trainer run. If you just go do a trainer rerun and a Jimmy run, it takes 2 hours, you'll be up 500k Pokeyen, right? So you can go from that 160k up to 700k within 2-3 hours, easy peasy. Ooh, I'll have to test this. Loaded dice is a new item. Someone said you don't even need a rerun cloister anymore. You could also use a loaded dice bullet seed Beldum, and it's just it's a strong raid Pokemon with coverage, as well as a trainer rerun Pokemon, as well as you could probably use as a catching Pokemon if you have like False Swipe Spore, Bullet Seed. Like, that's really cool. Maybe I'll do a video testing that because that's a really cool option. Any tips on how to not get carpal tunnel playing PokeMMO? Unironically, if you find your hand hurting while playing Pokemon, you're probably making eggs, but like you could, because eggs are just tough. You should probably only do like 1 hour of eggs a day. That can legit like hurt your fingers or hurt your hand. Playing on a controller, if you have one, a lot of people really like controller. It's very comfy. Legitimately, if you have like carpal tunnel problems or any sort of joint pain, you might want to try a controller and see how that feels, see how it plays. Especially like sweet set. I think the chillest form of shunting is time swipe hordes or horde hunting with leppas on a controller, because you literally only have to hit one button, right? You literally just keep hitting like the one sweet scent thing over and over and over again. How to connect a controller? I mean, you just USB plug it in to your computer, and then in the settings you can go over and find control and enable controller support in your settings. It should all be pretty simple. I have like a Xbox 360 USB controller that I just plug in, and it just works super. You have to have a USB controller, obviously, but it works super well for me. Any estimate for the anniversary event? I mean, it's very unlikely, sadly, that we see an anniversary event. I really loved the anniversary event in PokeMMO. It was my favorite event ever, honestly. However, we saw it once for the 10-year anniversary, which was 2-3 years ago, I think. 3 years ago at this point, unfortunately. And then we never saw it again. They said that they were planning to do it yearly, but then it didn't work out for whatever reason. And then they just transitioned to focusing more on raids and stuff like that. So unfortunately, the odds of an anniversary event all of a sudden coming back this year, I'd say, are very, very low. This is just a guesstimate. Please don't take this as words from a developer. I'm just a player, just a creator, right? I would say there's like a 10%, 20% chance we see the anniversary event back this year. I think it's very, very, very low. It's always possible, but very, very, very unlikely. If we do see one, it will most likely be around that like June, July time period. So keep that in mind. But I very much doubt we'll see one this year. Now, this is a question I can answer with 100% confidence. Someone said, do you think they'll ever release Alpha Gen 1 starters again? Nope, no, never. No, 100%, like 100% no, right? That is something, whenever like PokeMMO does a lot of limited time things, they historically have like never gone back on stuff like that. That would be like, it would be like if they like re-released the White Rabbit plush, right? Which is a limited time event only item released in the Lunar New Year event 2023, and that's it, right? They don't bring stuff like this back. Limited stuff does not come back. The alpha starters from Gen 1, the Charizards, I'm on the items, oops. The Charmanders, the Bulbasaurs, the Squirtles, these will never come back. That was the only supply we'll ever see. And that's it. I can pretty much speak with 100%, technically 99.9% because nothing's ever for certain, but with 99.9% certainty, I can say these will not return. I think it's very possible if we do get another anniversary event, which these came out during the anniversary event for those who don't know. If we do see another anniversary event, I think it's very possible we see like Gen 2 Alpha starter Pokemon. I think that would be a really cool thing. Like see like Alpha Typhlosions, Chikoritas, Ugg, or like, you know, Totodiles, right? So I think Gen 2 is pretty likely. We'll never see the Gen 1 ones ever again. Like that will not happen. That would ruin the market and destroy people's investments and trust in the developers. Actually, this is a great question. Can you sell a player name in PokeMMO? You cannot anymore. You actually used to. They actually used to allow there was some weird gray area rule where players could sell like 1 to 3 usernames throughout their career, which is a really weird rule to enforce, but that's what they did. But it was kind of like in the back end, and it was a weird thing. And they finally just ended up saying, you know what, like it's just too much to manage. We're just going to ban the ability to sell player names. So unfortunately, fortunately, you cannot sell player names or usernames anymore to other players in PokeMMO. Great question. Fellas, it is finally time. We've been at Sandslash all day. We've had a tremendous amount of Twitch subs. 43 Twitch subs all today. That is not normal. That is way more than I normally get. So firstly, thank you all so much to all the gifters, all the Twitch primers, everybody who went above and beyond in Twitch sub to support today. Because of you guys, we're going to go ahead and gamble our Pokeyen. First things first, I need a shiny charm. I'll buy one just like that. I'm going to go ahead and pop my shiny charm. And then I'm going to keybind. Let me actually keybind my mysterious great balls first. I am opening 43 of these. My shiny rate will be around, I think it's like 1 out of 3,000-ish. Like 1 out of 3,200. It will be extremely... Go to another route. Okay, it's cursed. We go to a different route. Please leave the cursed route. We go to the Lake of Rage and open them next to the Angry Gyarados for good luck. That's actually the strat. That's actually the strat. Okay. The balls are bound. The shiny charm is about to be popped. Welcome to the beginning of March Mysterious Ball Madness, okay? Popping Mysterious Balls for each Twitch sub I get until I break my dry streak. Good luck. Let's get started. We're popping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's shiny, it'll appear on screen. 6. I started at 429. What's the math from 429 minus... Oh, I fucked up. 429 minus 43. 386. Wait, what? No, 620. Oh my god, I'm bad at the game. 629 minus 43. 586 is what I end up with. 586 should be what I end up with. I should be watching the screen for the shiny sprite if possible, if it happens. My shiny rate is like around 3,200 right now. 1 out of 3,200. I'm 63, almost 64,000 encounters dry. Come on, can I end it? Can I end this absolute demon dry streak? Another one. You know, I don't mind just being just 63k dry. Not a problem. Being 112k dry, into 50k dry, into 60k dry, into 80k dry, into another 64. This is what hurts. This is what sucks. This is what causes the pain of shiny hunting in PokeMMO, but it's also what makes it so goddamn triumphant. If there wasn't moments like this, moments of desperation, moments of dryness, the moments of wetness, and the crazy shinies that we see in the game, wouldn't mean as much as they do. There is day 1 of March Mat. We're still dry. I honestly thought we were going to end it today. Maybe I'm just cope, but now we do 834 plus 43 to add to our encounter counter. Since they don't manually track the mysterious balls or automatically track them. Nah, you're milking subs. I get it. Yeah, I am purposefully choosing not to get the shiny. That is true for content. That is true and real. Not a meme. How did I pop that many within like 2 minutes? It's crazy how fast you can pop them now. So we go back for the rest of the charm. We go back to Sandslash. Okay. We go back to Sand. We're not done shunting. But that is our mysterious balls pop for today. Any subs gotten from this point until the end of the stream will be saved for tomorrow. Will be saved for tomorrow, okay? How much Pokeyen was that? That's what also hurts is like mysterious. Let me actually go over to the advanced search. Mysterious Great Ball 2023s. How much are these right now at the cheapest? 68k a piece. 68,000 Pokeyen times 43. It was 3 million Pokeyen gone in 2 minutes. Oh my god. 2 minutes. We consumed 3 mil in 2 minutes. Oh, that hurts. Well, now we get the Sand Slash, boys. That's okay. That's okay, Copium. All right, as with any Patrouski stream, we've been discussing food for the past 45 minutes or so, and I think it's about time I drop a food take of the day. This might even be a repeat. I might have said this once before, but it's probably my guiltiest food take, but I also, like, have to admit the fact that it's so true. I've had a lot of milkshakes, okay? Milkshakes are one of those things where it's like, milkshakes are one of the best tasting things on the planet, but they're also one of the most abhorrently unhealthy things for you in the world. I feel like you can have like 5 to 10 milkshakes a year as an adult, and any more than that is like, we're getting into scary territories. Obviously, you can do whatever, you know, live your life. Fuck it, I don't know, who am I? But it's just kind of funny, right? I have had a lot of milkshakes. I've had $20 milkshakes, $30 milkshakes, $4 milkshakes, you know? I've had a lot of milkshakes, okay? And I genuinely think the best milkshake I've ever had was the fucking Grimace birthday milkshake from McDonald's. I am not joking. I'm not kidding. That shit had the most incredibly smooth, consistent, sweet berry vanilla flavor. It was insane. I'm sorry, $30 milkshake. I've had a fair bit of boozy milkshakes. So it's like spike a milkshake with like whiskey. They're pretty based. I'm not gonna lie. But that's why they get so expensive. That's a very big splurge, obviously. Like, that's like me and the wife go out and split something like at a movie theater or some shit. But I do the Grimace milkshake, man. The Grimace milkshake, it's impossible to beat. It's the best milkshake that I've ever had, and I'm a milkshake fanatic, bro. Oso is gifting 10 in the final minutes of the charm. That means we pop 10 more mysterious great balls. Chat, get to it. We're running out of time. Only 3 minutes left in the shiny charm. We rebind the mysterious great balls. I actually can't believe this is like 700k more great balls. Just popping these 10. That's so crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, jumpy on, 6, 7, 8, come on, 9, 10. I actually cannot believe that I'm still dry. I actually can't believe it's going 65k dry alone isn't that crazy. But with my overall shiny odds on my account being around 1 out of 34, almost 35,000 at this point, over how, like 50 OT shunts, with donator status, with charms, with popping mysterious balls, I'm just consistently dry, which sucks. I don't mind a dry hunt. It sucks to be so consistently dry. However, all that means is that one day I will be consistently wet. Okay? It's coming, chat. You have to believe 2025 is the wet year. You have to keep believing until one day it becomes true. So I'm going to all you can do if you're dry or you know, you're frustrated with your shunts, all you can do within your control is keep going. So I'm going to make sure I just keep going and get more encounters. And I'll see you guys very soon. Anyways, fellas, that is it for today. A shiny charm down. The first day of March Mysterious Ball Madness is over. We opened a total of 53 Mysterious Balls today on a Monday. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. I'm excited to see what else happens in March, to see if we can hopefully break this streak. I'm pushing really hard to break this streak so we can work on other goals. But we got to break it, boys. We got to break it. So I will see you guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow the Twitch for streams like this Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, and Twitch subs help out tremendously. Thanks for another fun day of PokeMMO. I'm having a blast, boys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace of Reno, fellas. Enjoy PokeMMO. Hey, thank you so very much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me. And if your name is listed here, you're the reason I'm able to do this in the first place by going above and beyond and supporting the channel via YouTube memberships and Twitch Primes. Thank you so much. Have a great day.